Hello heroes, welcome back. Cheap Comic Collector here. This is episode number 81. My name's Rob, and today we're going to be taking a look at these Harvey comics that I recently read. We do about every other episode or so, we do a what am I reading spot where we open up the comic books, take a look inside, and kind of discuss what they were. And then, of course, we do short box videos and those kind of things as well. We have a lot of those. So check them out if you're new to the channel. Please like and subscribe. You will get a free comic book if you send me your address just for subscribing. And once I have your address, then you're automatically eligible for any future giveaways. So to get started here, first off, we've got Richie Rich, number 76, and I have this marked, let's see, it's from 1968, and I've got a D on the tag, so that means it was damaged. It's missing this chunk out of the back. Somebody wanted to make money and get prizes, I guess, by selling Christmas packs. So anyway, we got this kind of cool cover with Richie Rich and his butler Cadbury on the cover. And I wonder if that's what Higgy Pop is doing on his vacation right now. I don't know. So inside the front cover, we've got an ad for the giant Harvey comics. There were a lot of them that month. That's how popular Harvey comics used to be. The Cowsills, not familiar with the Cowsills. I think they were some kind of a band, a rock band maybe. Anyway, Richie Rich, the first gag is just kind of typical Richie Rich. They need something to keep the wind from blowing the roof off of their hut. And in typical Richie Rich fashion, he borrows his mom's diamond jewelry. And then we have Richie Rich, the Iceman Cometh. A little bit of an adventure story where this blue guy is called the Iceman. He's robbing jewelry, and he has cold powers, kind of like think of him as Jack Frost, I guess, kind of. And it is continued later in the issue. And then we have a little Lada one-pager and a Richie Rich one-pager. And then the second chapter called Cool It, where Richie Rich outwits the Iceman. And then there's some ads in the middle. I'm always amazed when they waste a centerfold on an ad, but Harvey used to do that all the time. And then we have a cool little juggling ad here for Harvey Comics. And Little Dot is the backup story where she gets a book of magic that performs real magic, and she also foils a crime in progress. A couple of text stories. I usually skip them because they're not comics. And then there's a little Lada in the back. And yeah, it looks like she's fighting crime too. So, bunch of crime fighting in this issue. And here we have an ad for Palisades Amusement Park. If you're familiar with any of the old DCs from the 60s, maybe 70s, there used to be ads in those for Palisades also that had to do with the superheroes. And apparently at one point Harvey was a sponsor. They could come and see the all-new Casper's Ghostland. And it's too bad there wasn't much home video back then, because I would love to see that. And then just a Cheerios ad, and then we get to that corner where the back's missing that coupon that was torn out. I did have to tape this spine a little bit with my archival tape just to keep it from deteriorating any worse. And since I already had that big chunk out of the back cover, it doesn't really hurt anything. So we are going to move on. to Casper and Spooky, number 5 from 1973. And Casper's giving Spooky an eye test on the cover. And you have these little TV icons, which it's a clever touch, since Casper was on TV back then, of showing the characters that are in the issue. And they never had enough characters, so they'd always throw in somebody like Poyle, which is Spooky's girlfriend. And then the first strip, the one-pager that's at the start, is actually based on the cover. So you have the same gag as the cover at the end of the first page. And then we go into Casper and Spooky in Insult Land. So they're flying over the Enchanted Forest, and they go to an area they've never been before called Insult Land, where all of the residents, it's normal for them to just hurl insults at each other, which of course Casper doesn't like. Spooky feels quite at home. And then there's a couple of Spooky one-pagers in the middle before it gets back to that story. And Casper ends up making their captive happy by insulting him, because when he's finally had enough. It's that panel right there. So, interesting character designs, a little bit offbeat for normal. And got a whole page showing the Richie Rich titles. And then this was interesting. Harvey Records, we showed an ad not too long ago for the first record, which was Richie Rich and Casper. This one has Sad Sack and Wendy songs, one on each side. It's a 45. And apparently, so I did a little research, since this seemed to be an ongoing series, and there was actually, it looked like 5 of these records made. These 2 songs, by the way, are on YouTube. If you do a search for the Sad Sack song or Wendy, the Magic Wand of Wendy, you will be able to hear those songs. Somebody's got them on YouTube where you can just listen to them. And then some of the records later, they repeated songs, but they'd have like one of the old songs and one of new songs. So there's not, I don't think there's 10 songs, but there's 5 records with a song on each side. I didn't add up to see all of those. And then we have the Harvey calendar from 1973. And Spooky has a story with his girlfriend Poyle wants him to get a pet, and of course he doesn't want to have a pet. But he ends up with a pet skunk, a pet gator, and a pet elephant who take a liking to him. And so that's the end panel right there. That must be quite a forest they live in. And then we have a one-page Spooky ad with an older relative and a Wendy with another witch she's conversing with. And Wendy has a backup story all to herself, where this little sorcerer guy shows up and wants to take a nap and disturbs the ants. Those ants, not like bug ants. And then there's a ad back here for the Sad Sack line. And Harvey man, they were really cranking them out, weren't they? And that's the end of that one, of what's interesting in it. And give me a second while I see if I have paper towels handy. Yeah, here's some. I'm in the garage filming this, and I'm dropping sweat on the comics, and I hate that because it does damage the comic. Even though these are nowhere near mint condition, I still want to keep them as nice as I can. But once I get my other room cleaned out, maybe we can set up better in there for filming. So we got Hot Stuff Sizzlers. This one's number 54 from 1973. It's got Hot Stuff, Stumbo, Floodle, somebody called Dr. Cesspool and Aunt Clinker. So in this one, Hot Stuff is visited by a mean wizard who is seeking shelter from the rain, and he puts a whammy on Hot Stuff to control him and make him his servant. And again, interesting character designs for the other characters other than the main ones. Yeah, battle ensues. Once Hot Stuff gets mad enough, he gets his willpower back. And then there's an ad for Casper sheets and with Richie Rich sleeping on a bed. And again, an ad for all the Richie Rich titles for that month. And Hot Stuff has a run-in with Aunt Clinker and another little demon called Demo. Hot Stuff thinks he's dumb, but he kind of shows him up. And then there's another one here where another ant shows up and Hot Stuff outwits her so she doesn't kiss him. And then this one was interesting. I like this little wizard guy character here. He's very 70s looking to me. Let me see if I can focus that better. There we go. And I just like the character design. Very, very neat. So anyway, he takes away the ability for anything to create fire, and Hot Stuff manages to get it back for everyone. And then a couple more Hot Stuff one-pagers. This is a big issue. This was a giant-size issue. So, and then it goes back into that story with the wizard character, who I just adore that design. And let's see, Hot Stuff is back again for a 2-pager, and then a 1-pager, another 1-pager, and Stumbo the Giant's got a story in here where he's tired of everybody messing with his hair. The crows will want to make a nest in it, and so on and so forth. Got a 2-page text story with Hot Stuff in Catalog Land. Harvey used to like lands. They used to have, I don't know, it seems like whenever they didn't have a story idea, they took some random thing and made a whole land out of it. Insult Land, as we saw in the Casper and Spooky series, and other things. I remember there being one with pencils or something like that. Here's Hot Stuff and Paluto. So this is a very odd design character. But he came up out of the coal mine, and his apparently object in life is to pollute everything. I guess kind of think like Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street, but he walks around and he bathes in the river, he pollutes it and things like that. So, and then Hot Stuff meets Uncle Roaster, and there's that record ad again. So that went on for a while, because this is the last one was, where did I put them? They're down here. 73. This was, I guess this was 73 also. So I was thinking of the 69 issue, but okay. So yeah, typical, just Hot stuff. And then it just ads run out. Nothing particular interesting. Normally, sell seeds, sell greeting cards, whatever they are. And then we have an issue of a Little Lada, number 109 from 1973. Unfortunately, this is missing the centerfold. I did a page count on it because it just felt kind of light and thin. It's amazing how much difference 4 pages makes. so that you notice it just by holding the comic that it maybe doesn't have enough pages in it. So yeah, we got Little Lada in this issue, Little Dot, Richie Rich, Reginald, and Mr. Plump, according to the cover. Got a little fat gag going on there where the kids are following Lada to stay in the shade. And I don't think Reginald or Mr. Plum appeared in this issue, actually, so even though they pictured them on the cover. So first off, Little Lada and her boyfriend Gerald. Gerald decides to take Little Lada to lunch because he saw her just snacking heavily and figures she won't eat that much, and instead she orders everything on the menu. And we go into the Haunted Museum, which the haunt is actually Lada stuck in a suit of armor. She can't get it off. So the title was a little misleading. Richie Rich and his dad are hanging out at the yacht harbor. And Richie Rich and Gloria are hanging out in the impressive automated kitchen. And then we've got Little Lada as a super character. Not sure if these were a series where she was a superhero. It's called Leapin' Lada, it says on her shirt there. So, and of course she's super strong, so she could easily do super feats. And in this one she wins a horse race. And then there's another Lada story where Gerald is trying to hide from her. And of course Gerald has the same traditional outfit as Richie Rich, which is kind of weird. And then a couple Little Lada one-page text articles. Ad down here for Jackie Jokers that I don't ever remember seeing before. Unfortunately, they didn't do the comic strip format that they do for their other ads. They just did a straightforward ad. And then we got Little Dot. A dot for every purpose, where she's dreaming that she can create dots just by pointing. And then there's the Sad Sack ad for that month's issues. And that was the end of that issue. So, Harvey Comics, they're fun. Nothing earth-shattering about them, but they are fun to collect. They are a little bit hard to find because not that many people collect them. But they do have their fans. So thank you for watching. Tomorrow we'll get into another short box probably. And like I said, subscribe, send me your address if it's your first time subscribing. Send me your address and we'll get a comic book off to you. If you've already subscribed and you haven't sent me your address, please do so. It will get you entered into the future giveaways, and I will still send you the free comic book that you deserve because you guys are awesome. So, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow at noon.